Hi.
McDonald's. McDonald's. Oh, hi.
I'm gonna go to the play
McDonald's.
place.
Oh, I love the play place.
Hell yeah. I'll go get lost in there and you can come find me.
I feel
Nice.
like they legitimately need to add so you can search for McDonald's and then you can search for fun McDonald's, and it's the McDonald's that still has a play place. It isn't just a business depression place that sells burgers.
Ugh.
My my brain was like, you search for fun McDonald's and it's just like, yeah, we don't have that.
The fun McDonald's is in Detroit.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
I don't
Nothing.
have any hands. How dare you?
Lost my hands in the war. In the
Clap
mustache
your
war.
nubs.
The
That doesn't sound
mustache
right.
war.
Never forget.
Always
Forget what?
never forget.
Forget what?
Mom's
I don't
spaghetti.
remember what I shouldn't forget. Click.
I remembered once the thing that I forgot to remember.
I told Cheryl today that I misremembered something, and the woman that was being checked out like cracked up so hard.
But welcome everybody to Awooters Does WanderHome.
WanderHome. We're back.
We're back after a long break. We were wandering, then we got lost for a while, and now we're back to just wandering.
Yeah.
So
Scheduling's a bitch.
It'll probably take a group effort in this case. We won't put that on any one person. But what happened last time is we had just gotten to
Yeah, we just made the place.
El Grotto. El Grotto, right?
Yeah, and then we hung out in the house with the gay otters.
Yeah, gay otters.
Actually, pretty much everyone here is gay. Otters and bears.
It's otters and bears.
I mean, yeah, you have to have every otter has their assigned bear.
Or
But these two
assigned
otters
other
are
otter.
together with each other.
And you know what? That's fine.
Because we're inclusive.
But
Otter rights.
there was some weird stuff going on last time with our crew. But
Oh yeah.
let's start off by
Husky
going through.
killed me. That was too funny.
Crewmates. Let's start off. Atlas. What are Atlas's initial thoughts of El Dorado?
The place, it's cold and wet, and I don't like it.
And where can people find Atlas on the internet?
They can find me at twitch.tv/AtlasRiven. You can also find me on TikTok, where I recently was able to I can go live on TikTok now, so you can watch me there too if you want.
Whoa.
What do you do? Is it like it's not like and subscribe, because that's YouTube. I don't know what the handle is. We're like, click the button for this and you'll see when I go Twitch to Twitter, TikTok live again.
When I
like and
TikTok.
follow.
You can follow me on Twitch or TikTok to see when I go live.
Nice.
I have a crown.
Is it a Burger
I
King crown?
rule. Rez found a Burger King crown and has placed it on my head, and I've never been more powerful.
That's fantastic.
The
Beautiful.
monarchy grows stronger.
Speaking of powerful, quiz. What are Ginger's initial thoughts, and Fernando's for that matter, of El Dorado, and where can people find you on the internet?
Fernando is so happy right now. Like, this
Francisco?
place is just... Francisco. Hi. Good morning.
Fernando.
Fernando. Yeah, Francisco is
correct.
very happy. This weather is perfect for him.
He's nice and moist.
Basically, yeah, he doesn't have to bring out his moisturizer all the time, which he has like the last couple of places.
Moist.
Moist.
I'm sorry, would you like me to say it again closer to the mic?
No, I would like for you to have a better reason to say it.
Yeah, we won't say that he's moist. He's just got some good drip going. Anyway,
Drip King.
That outfit though, he's got
Work
them
it.
shoes.
Soleil the runway. Hey.
Uh,
what about Ginger?
Ginger's pretty excited about where they're at. She's getting along really well with her obviously new best friend, also loud person that likes to do random shit.
Doodle.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And where can people find you on the internet?
Hi. I live outside like a little gremlin. And
A
I
big
don't have a lot of time for the internet. I've been trying to do some TikToks. I did one the other day that did pretty good. Sometimes I stream, but not often. It's Squizzle119. It's cool. Oh, there's something cool that I am going to be doing though. The person that made my VTuber is going to a furry con, I guess it's called, in Australia, and she's going to have me on a TV screen. I'm going to say hi to people. So that's
awesome.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my presence on the internet right now. When the weather's really nice out, especially in like springtime, I'm probably outside.
Nobody pay attention to the disaster happening in the chat right now.
Shut the fuck up, Ross. Shut the fuck up.
What
Ross,
have you
distract
done?
them. Go.
Dib 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 dib. Dib 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 dib.
Well, that's just a voice track from an old video game. Beautiful. So, where can you be found on the internet, Ross? And what are Taryn and Rose's thoughts on El Dorado so far?
They're unsure. They're definitely happier now, having left our last destination. However, it is also still cold and still wet, which is not really good for either of them.
It is the season. We are still trying to get out of winter. This is like the beginning of spring, end of winter season, monsoon. So it's all uphill from here.
Yeah. As for me, you can find me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on Twitch. Ross_the_bear. The underscores are important because if you don't use them, you won't find me.
They are very important to his culture.
And his
The
cult.
underscore king.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, my cult. I forget about them sometimes. I don't treat them as well as I should.
We need the cult of underscore and a cult of the lamb already.
But I should play
Stay
that.
tuned for that.
You're right. I literally I have it. I bought it and I haven't played it at all yet. So like I
Oh
probably
shit,
should
that would
do
be
that at some point.
perfect.
Wait, that's me.
Cool. Husky's currently having some microphone problems, so I'll go over myself real quick. We don't know if we'll be able to fix the microphone just yet, but we'll see what we can do. Larkin feels like there's just an innate magic to El Dorado. It feels a little off, but like in a warm and inviting way. Kind of like the opposite of the really down to earth but kind of spooky graveyard we just left. And he's very curious to see where it's all going to go from here. As for me, you can
Yeah.
find me on my Twitch channel, little_Foxy. And yeah, we just play a lot of games, a lot of FAS, maybe some more IDV. We'll see. Depends on how time works for me, you know.
What
The
the
enemy
fuck
of
is
all streamers
time?
is time and the internet at large. So, yep,
I downloaded IDV, but I haven't tried it yet.
it
The
is
vibes
very
are
fun.
cute.
It's DBD but cute. That's what I call it. It's a little more than that, but that's what I call it.
Do you know if it has controller support?
I don't know.
That's a good question, Ross.
Because the problem is you're also talking about a game that is a mobile game ported to PC, so it may
Right, but
have
like,
excellent controller support. That may be another step beyond what it's already designed for. Hold on.
Yeah, I feel like the previous place that we were at was like, oh my gosh, news. We need any news from outside. We want to know what's going on. And this place is like, news. What the fuck is that? I don't need that.
We're in paradise.
Leave
It's
that
nothing but
at the
otters
door.
and bears here.
I wouldn't. Well, it's somebody's paradise.
Somebody's paradise.
paradise.
How
I mean,
awful.
Ross called it like it was earlier. You know, you remember what he called me earlier. It's my paradise, apparently. Yes.
So yeah, we're still waiting. We will laud the praises upon Emos Husky, the Musky Husky, the best mod NA, is
Best
going to
mod
be
NA.
playing Zurich. You can find them all over the place in all of our channels, as well as here in the WanderHome stream. They do seem to be having some technical difficulties. Zurich, I think, is just glad to be away from the last place, and glad to get to hang out with the other quiet spirit in the group, Atlas. I'm sure that they will make
His
amazing
absolute
roommates.
best friend.
Alice hates everything about this. He's never been more upset. So far, he has run into a great many issues with this environment. Not just with that, but like the
The
environment.
actual physical environment. So yeah.
Wait,
as-
I think the last thing that happened was that Zurich sent the other bed in the room to someone else, so now you have to cuddle on one bed.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
he gave
because
he
we only
gave it
had
away to
2 beds in
Francisco.
the guys' room where there's 3 of us.
Yeah, he's like, I can't make an old man sleep on the floor.
I don't understand why the 3 guys in the other bed, in the other room, get to come steal a bed.
They
We
didn't
didn't
steal
steal
the
it.
bed,
Zurich
he
gave it
offered
away.
It was offered freely. We took nothing. So other than that side of the drama, you've also got you've got Taryn and Rose, who have just matured so much over the course of these adventures, these many, many months. I personally have noticed how Rose has kind of mellowed out over time. Just a little bit, but like in a good way.
She's growing up.
The critical thinking skills are starting to apply themselves in quick order. And Rose feels like she has a very protective nature to her.
Yeah, she's taken after her old pa.
Aw.
I don't know why I fused like Papa and old man into old pa.
Oh, paw.
Old pa.
Bear paw.
Old pa.
That just sounds like a weird way of saying grandpa.
Hmm.
You got pa and old pa.
I don't know
Isn't
why, by the
Opa-
way.
Doesn't Opa mean dad in something?
But
Maybe Hebrew? Or Greek?
or Greek? Because I know you're not talking about Opie.
No.
Got.
Because I know what
Otosa,
you're talking about. You're talking about like
Japanese.
you're talking about Oma and Opa, but I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what language that comes from.
Is that
Is it Russian?
Japan?
German? Thank you. I love
German?
you.
Oh, it's German.
While we have this conversation, let me just spin a wheel real quick.
Yeah, that's why I recognized it.
Because you speak German fluently, right?
No,
Okay. Okay. Cool. So I've spun the wheel. Hey, this segment of WanderHome is sponsored by Tezukawa. You can catch Tezukawa's streams at twitch.tv/Tezukawa. They do art and Minecraft, and also they are an entire oven. So
I'm gonna
enjoy
go
them.
ahead and while we're doing this, swap us over so that people can see the tabletop in case I have to zoom in and show anyone anything. Oh,
He's dead.
Goodbye.
No.
I get to sleep alone.
oh, he's back. He never left. Just like how he was hiding in the room when you showed up.
You just couldn't go on without your cuddle buddy.
I would
So
like to go
funny.
on.
So funny.
To the next life. I'd like to go on.
There we go. And now we can see El Dorado.
El Dorado.
The magnificent.
Got to rewatch El Dorado with some friends recently. It was a gem.
It's so good.
It is. It's really good. It was one of my favorites growing up.
Yeah, it was one of those things I had to look at. It was like horrendously historically inaccurate, but a great
yeah.
film.
Oh no, 100%. But it's also got like the totally absolutely gay rogue and bard characters running the whole thing.
They're so good.
And music written by Elton John.
Also, what do you mean? Disney is notorious for doing everything completely and totally 100% historically accurate.
God, shit, you're right. I'll just ignore the. Thank you. There was a red laser beam in my room for some reason, but like, as you said that, it's gone now.
You're welcome for this information and only that.
That took a turn.
Crazy.
Please don't kill us.
So the answer is yes. You can always do that thing.
It doesn't mean anything extra. It's literally just I can do that thing.
You can do it. I turned your playbook to page 4 where it lists the full thing. Because that last one has a special little note there that you can do that thing, and if they say yes, you get a token.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Or they get a token. Which one was it? They get a token.
Yeah, they get a token.
So yeah. While I continue to try to work with Husky here for just a little bit, why don't we pick up the following morning?
Oh. I want you to know that if we're picking up the following morning, Atlas absolutely just found a chair to sleep in. He did not go cuddle up.
Aww.
That did not happen.
Oh
That's
man.
fine. But let's follow up the following morning with Ginger and Rose, who had their own room.
Yeah, we made what did we make? We made letters. That was it.
Although they didn't have recipients, right? They were just like open letters to no one.
They were open letters to no one, but I think Rose specifically made you a letter. Like made Taryn a
that's
letter.
right. Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't write anything.
Get wrecked.
That's fair.
You
That's okay.
procrastinated.
So I imagine it's one of those things where it was like a very heartfelt letter, but like accidentally got spilled glitter all over it.
All over the
Or, like-
heartfelt parts. So it comes
Yeah,
off
so
as,
you
like,
can only make
a
out
ransom
like
note
a
now.
third of it.
It just looks like a ransom note now. You will never forget the things you
Glitter,
do.
glitter, glitter.
Sparkle.
I'm looking for you.
Always watching.
And then instead of like love you, the love got glitter on it, so it just says you.
You.
That's so crazy that the glitter spilled all over it. What's this bottom part right here that says P.S. Give me $1,000 or I won't return the what is that pet that I stole from your family? There's no glitter on that part. Huh.
I mean, considering some of the previous interactions that we've seen with Taryn and Rose, I think that Rose getting kidnapped would literally be peak nightmare territory for Taryn.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah.
I
I
would
mean,
say
almost happened
Rose
once.
kidnapped somebody's animal because Rose wrote the answer, the letter.
Maybe
was
they're
making that.
illiterate.
I was making a bad.
Wouldn't that be terrible? They're like, I can't read or write. Can you write your ransom letter? And then they just write, hey, this guy kidnapped me. We're here. He's like, yep, looks good.
I mean, frankly, that'd probably be the best kidnapping story ever.
I feel like I watched it was a TikTok or a YouTube short or something, where like it was the recording a person that's been kidnapped, and it's like you're gonna read the cards, and they're starting to show the cards, and this person's like, you misspelled because. Okay, it's I before E, except after C. Why are you not getting? You're over here trying to maybe you need the money because you failed out of school. Is that what it is? And just berating this person that kidnapped them on camera.
I'm imagining like quiet sobs behind the camera.
Because it was the guy holding the index cards didn't even write it. There's some other person in a room that's like, I'm not stupid.
Oh.
Gave the computer a little restart. We're seeing if that helped.
I'm gonna say probably not.
Probably not.
No.
What we can do, because we don't wanna not have best mod NA, is I will always try to keep the chat box with a dark background so that Husky can just talk to us non-verbally, which is probably works for Zurich anyway. I'm gonna miss the old man who probably feeds pigeons in New York voice.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try and and do the voice.
I could probably try it. Does that sound good to you, Husky?
I like how Atlas's DMs show up on screen.
What?
What?
What do you mean my DMs show up on screen? What?
When you send a message, it shows up on the top left of where the game is.
Does
What?
it really?
Wait,
That's
On
It
so
the
just
weird.
stream?
did on stream, yeah.
Send
Why
something
is
real
that
quick.
happening?
Yeah, I need to figure that out. Waiting for it.
It might have been something else, but it was definitely Atlas's face in the top left corner.
Huh.
Is my face in the top left corner?
Here, okay, send another one. I have like
I'm
Discord
sending-
under. Oh, I see it.
Oh,
Yep,
there it is.
It's the
Ah.
game overlay.
Okay, so you need to turn the game overlay off.
Oh geez, how do you do that again? Is it Shift Tab? Yeah.
We're professional streamers, everybody.
We're doing great.
Not Shift Tab. I think I can change it in Discord. Give me a moment. Discord always making changes to stuff.
Can you swap to a different screen until that's figured out?
I have disabled it.
Okay, let's test it real quick.
Yep, nothing.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, now that that's worked out, looks like our options are we could go on without Husky for this one, or we could try to find some other way. We could use his bad microphone. He has another one, but it's like it'll sound bad. I don't know that we want that necessarily either.
Define bad.
Husky, could you use that microphone for a little bit so we can get a taste of what we're working with?
I'm scared. The anticipation.
See you shiver with anticipation.
Patient. You waited too long. I forgot
No,
what was happening.
That's the
No,
thing.
you
Is
waited.
that
No, you
you,
waited too. You waited too long, Ross. You waited
you
too
have
long.
to have to hold on to it for longer than they expect, and then they're like,
You
"Come on,
held.
just say
It's
it."
an awkward. No, now it's an awkward hug at this point. You held on too long.
I love an awkward hug.
But what if it lasts too long? You know, it's not good for anybody if it lasts too long.
Like you hug, and then you let go, but the other person doesn't.
And they're like, nope.
I think I've had that
Me
happen
too.
before, and I think my actual response was like, instead of just awkwardly continuing the hug, I think I accidentally out loud was like, "Oh, okay, we're still doing that. Okay." Like I didn't. It was just my gut reaction, and I was like, "I'm sorry."
That sounds like you. That definitely sounds like you.
I had someone in high school come up and then they like gave me a hug by picking me up, but I was like trying to kind of block it, so I had my arm across my chest, and when they picked me up, it like cut off my air. So they
Ooh.
picked me up and I just went "Ah,"
No.
and I got dropped. I was like, well, that was nice.
Really felt the love on that one.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
don't know.
we're gonna take a quick break to look at technical difficulty issues.
Yeah, we have a BRB screen for that.
Uh-huh.
Verb.
Grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and we'll be back after a short break.
It sounded professional.
38 minutes of riffing.
Oh yeah, a bee flew in my car today.
What did you do?
Oh, I tried to get it back out, and then it got to the back of the car, and then by the time we got home, I got it out, and I was like, "I'm so sorry, fam. Your family is so far away right now."
So I have a similar story.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I was living in Fayetteville, and I was just driving down the freeway, and had a wasp fly into my car. We're driving like 60 down the quote freeway, basically, and it's just me and my friend who's in the infantry. The bee flew into the car, and at first my friend's like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." And we're driving. I'm the driver. He saw my right hand reach for the door handle and my left hand go for my seatbelt. And he cupped his hand, grabbed the wasp, and flew it outside. I'm like, "Oh, geez, you saved all of our lives right there."
One time, a wasp got in
Whoa.
our house, and Rez locked himself in the bedroom and refused to come out until I killed it.
All I
Does that
know
for
is
June bugs
that
too, right? Little stink bugs.
No, he just gets really upset.
all I know is that I hired a wasp to do a thing and he didn't do it, so he's not getting paid.
You hired a wasp?
Well, yeah, you made it here, and he didn't steal
Oh,
the
I'm
car like
so
I paid
sorry.
him.
Yeah, if I knew that he belonged to you, I would have left him alone. I killed him with a newspaper like a good dad.
Oh no, I was talking about the one that
Aw.
flew into your car. He was supposed to hijack your car for me.
Oh, that's fair. I was
Yeah.
gonna surprise you with it. Like, I was gonna text you when I got home and be like, haha, look at my new car. And then you were right there, and I was like, fuck.
I want you to know it was still a surprise because I was like, oh my god, Squizz's mom finally did it. She got the car that she kept talking about. And then I learned it was you, and that's when I was betrayed.
And that's when the betrayal started. My villainous backstory. It began right then. I've been plotting
Anyway.
my revenge ever since.
That wasp is fired. What are we doing?
Why are you
we
just
have-
like zooming in and zooming out of Husky's PFP?
What do you mean? Anyway, so we're back in. We have ourselves a husky. Say hi,
Yay.
Zurich.
Okay.
Oh,
I was like, please don't do this to me.
sorry, I had a mouthful of chili. I didn't want to just old man voice into the mic with a mouthful of chili. That wouldn't have sounded
Is
great.
it really an old man voice if you don't do the voice with a mouthful of chili?
I was gonna say.
I want to go home.
So you can give your own little intro. What is Zurich thinking about this place? Because you never got the chance to really say. More chili. I
Was no, thinking of what to say. Really, it's been a while. Zerk has a bad memory. He can't really remember what had happened in the place there. It has been a while
Luckily-
for him.
We haven't been here long, El Dorado. For those who are new, we are just arriving here. It's a Port Lagoon Mirage. Those are the three natures of this place, and it kind of works, kind of like the Great Valley and Land Before Time, where it's just this completely closed off mountain range, with a lake in the middle of it, and you have we decided it was it's like airships, basically, zeppelins that fly over the surface of the water to go from port to port across the lake.
Yeah.
Like James and the Giant Peach, just flown around with some flying insect.
Mhm. Another fantastic movie.
Yes. But with that, we've gotten the gist of what the girls were up to over the night. What about the three guys? So I know that Larkin, after getting a good night rest, would take his wheelchair with small forgotten gods on it and go for a walk in the morning.
Taryn's gotta do his yoga / stoutness exercises.
Yeah, and Francisco does that with him.
Nice. And then what about Zurich and Atlas. What is your night/morning looking like?
Atlas slept in a chair in the living room.
And Zurich got up early this morning here and decided that he was going to follow some butterflies again and got himself lost somewhere in town.
Nice. So I might run into him later.
Hmm,
So,
I'm
question: did the otters find you in that chair, Atlas?
Depends on when they wake up versus when everyone else wakes up.
So I think we can agree that the first person to wake up between the two otters, probably at about the same time Terran would be awake because he's the responsible type. It'd be Tippy.
Yeah, Tippy.
I
What
think
were
I
the
think
names
Doodle's
again?
sleeping in.
Oh,
Tippy and
Doodle
Doodle.
always sleeps in.
So
I
we
was
got
gonna say
Tippy and Doodle.
Doodle. I imagine is either the one that's like up at 3 a.m. or passed out until 2 p.m.
Yes. He wakes up reasonably around 10, 10:30.
Not bad.
11. Just keep pushing the time back. Up at 10, out of bed at 2. But yeah, so between the two of them,
Tippy.
and Tippy would walk down the stairs from his room, or no, their room is on the main floor. So he'd walk out into the living room towards the kitchen and see you in the chair. Are you sleeping, or are you up by then?
He is sleeping.
He'd just keep walking and start making coffees, basically. By this point, I think Zurich would already be gone, and everyone is sleeping except for Larkin and Terran, who were probably a couple of the first people up. Larkin, Terran, they would have woken up at the same time Fernando would have gotten up. Terran and Fernando. Terran and
Francisco?
Francisco.
I
keep thinking of
know,
their
right?
ex.
Fernando.
Terran and Francisco would be working on yoga and stress management exercises. Larkin would say he's going for a walk and take the wheelchair out. So he'd probably miss Tippy as they traveled to the kitchen.
I imagine like halfway through their yoga is when Rose and Ginger get up and they like tiptoe over and then bust the door open and are like, "Hey, we made stuff.
Did you?
Good
Excuse
morning."
me.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
We made things.
Here, this is for you. Oh, thanks.
Francisco, Ginger, I have made you a gift. Oh, okay. You're
Okay.
welcome. And it's just this like, it's a leaf, and it has like sparkly hearts on it,
Aw.
and it says, "Thanks for being a coworker."
Thank you for being a coworker.
Travel to the office and back again.
Taryn goes ahead and like he opens it up and like glitter just kind of like falls out and like onto the floor. Oh. He like tries like not to step in it.
Doodle has supplied a lot of glitter.
That's what Doodle's good for.
Glitter and paint.
It's in this moment that Taryn is very happy that he's still wearing his apron because that way it's not all over him. 'Cause he'd
But you
never
will
get it
find
out.
glitter in the pockets of that apron for the rest of your life.
I mean, better that than actually on his person.
You get tracked for the rest of time because you've got just glitter propagating on the bottom of your foot. It always leaves a full footprint but never fully goes away.
Oh no.
I worked in the seasonal department, and there's a lot of glitter involved in every season. And my manager was up on a top stock cart, and she looks down at me and she's like, "Hey, Sarah, come over here." And I was like, "Okay." And I walk over, eyes full of hope and trust. And she dumped a box of glitter on top of my head.
Did
And
you
I
ever
was
get
like,
it out?
"How could you?" I think. I don't know. I can't see the top of my head. No one can. I'm like 7 feet tall.
Nice.
The letter contains just general sentiments of like gratitude, thank you for being a good dad. Hope you don't sneeze too much. Well, this is really nice. Thank you. It was nothing.
Ah, you delivered your first letter.
No, I've delivered one other before, but it
You delivered
didn't
your
make.
second letter.
Yeah. Anyway, where's Larkin? I thought he'd still be here with you guys. Oh, he I think went out.
He took Rock Friend with him.
Hmm.
Rock Friend is best friend.
Is that is that Ginger saying that quietly to herself?
It is. Anyway, we
Yeah,
haven't
no,
explored the
Larkin's
city
gone.
yet. We should go out.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Although I do smell coffee.
Oh? You're
It's a
right.
sense you develop as an adult.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I could use a hot cup right now.
Ooh, yes, 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 yes.
And then we go out.
Sounds like a plan.
So everyone rolls on down the stairs then.
Humble.
Tumble.
Land at the bottom in a pile.
Brum, 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 brum.
Everybody sees a sleeping bunny, a blue bunny, a sleeping blue bunny in a chair in the living room. Sleeping blue bunny in a chair in the living room.
It's also very much that thing where he took his like suit jacket off and has just like laid it over his chest and his head is just
Using
hanging
it as
over it.
As a blanket.
a
Aw.
blanket.
And his head is just hanging over the top of the chair.
That looks uncomfortable.
You know what? I got. Taryn walks over to where the coffee is, pours a mug, walks over and just kind of like gently wafts it under Atlas's nose.
There would have been a
God.
cup. There would have been a cup sitting next to Atlas, just waiting.
Oh,
I
perfect.
didn't steal the thing. I didn't steal it. What? Huh? What?
Shh,
Oh,
Jen,
God.
Hi.
here. Just
Good
you
morning.
need this.
Yes, please. I'm gonna need more than this, but thank you.
Is that a nice couch?
It's not a couch. It's definitely just a chair.
Oh. Is it a comfortable chair?
You know, as far as chairs go, it's not bad.
You know, I might be wrong here, but I think you still had another bed in in your room.
You know, somebody carried the other bed.
Oh, right. He chuckles a little bit.
I want you to know that as sore as I am right now, it's nothing compared to what I'm gonna do to you later.
Hey, yo.
He just sips coffee.
Ah, you guys are awake. Tippy comes around the corner with another cup of coffee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll take one. Thank you.
He hands it over to you. But yeah, I make them one at a time, so it'll take a little bit, but I can get everyone here some coffee. Not a problem. Got a good supplier of beans.
You wouldn't happen to have like milk, would you?
Certainly. You just want some steamed milk. I can add a little sugar in it. It's a nice
Ooh.
little sweet treat.
Can I?
Yeah, I
Certainly.
think that's all right.
I can get that steamed for you while I brew the next cup. Get both of the coffee and the cup out at the same time.
Efficiency. Glad
Heck
to see
yeah.
it.
He does like a little two-fingered like salute as he turns around back to the kitchen. You hear him pull out some cups and such.
I like this one. He seems to have his wits about him.
Mm-hmm. And coffee.
Takes him a little bit. What are you guys up to? Just you guys in the living room right now.
I imagine we discuss the plans for the day.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and take a look around town.
Yeah, we should probably check it out first and then maybe look into the, whole getting out thing.
Actually, come to think of it, has anyone seen Zurich?
No. No, I haven't.
Oh, well, I'm sure we'll find him eventually.
Yeah, I feel like he's one of those people that tends to just kind of show up.
One coffee serving later.
Amazing.
Here you go. Tippy walks up. He's got two cups in his hand. One is more like a mug that you put like hot cocoa in, and the other one is a more of a teacup shape, and it has a little serving of coffee in it.
Oh, it's like an espresso shot.
An espresso shot with milk.
Yeah.
And it's just it's almost like a sweet milk froth, basically. So it's just a warm cup of milk for Rose.
Aw.
I've had this in real life, and it's actually pretty tasty.
I love steamers.
Stanley steamers.
Carpet cleaner.
Carpet cleaner.
Bixby, nobody's
God.
talking to you.
Whoa.
No, it's basically
Nobody's
just
ever talked to you, Bixby.
flavored hot milk. Yeah, I hate Bixby.
As you should. Nobody should like Bixby. That is a strong stance, and I stand by it.
It's a
I
strong
assume-
stance, and I'm not going anywhere.
I assume you're talking about like an item.
Bixby,
You don't know
is,
Bixby?
Bixby is specifically the like Siri version, but for Samsung.
Oh, okay.
And it's
'Cause,
a
like-
button that you will accidentally push all the
time.
time.
Uh-huh.
So they made it so you used to press and hold the power button to like power on and off the device. And they're like, what if we just made that the Bixby button?
Yeah, it's literally it's
It's a
actually
nightmare.
terrible.
Actually
terrible
awful.
I thought you were just bullying someone named Bixby.
item. No, I wish I was.
Bixby, your hands are
bullying
huge.
someone named Bixby. I would
D&D
rather
reference.
bully someone named Bixby.
All
than
right.
Dealing with Bixby.
So who was it that picked too friendly memory of a person as one of our aesthetic elements? I want to say that was Atlas.
What was it?
When we were picking the aesthetic elements, one of them is the too friendly memory of a person.
Does it say too as in like too much?
Yes.
Oh,
So like everything in here, the mirage is too something. It's too vivid, too shining, too verdant, too satisfying, too beautiful, and too friendly. So it's all like it's those things, but to the nth degree, in an unreal kind of way.
I'm gonna be
Too
real
good
with
to
you,
be true.
I literally don't remember if I picked that or not.
I'm pretty sure you did because I chose too satisfying food.
Then I picked it because I actually legit. It's been so long that I do not remember.
Yeah, but that's fine. Um, I'm looking over just some of our aesthetic elements and seeing what do we want to explore about this place today. We got options.
I want to check out their bugs.
They have
The
a lot.
bumbleflea.
Yes, I want to check out the bumbleflea. Their fleet of bumblefleas.
Oh no, I hope it's not a fleet.
A herd, probably, but yeah.
You heard?
Oh my god, I want to describe the bumblebee fleet. The bumbleflea fleet.
They do it.
Okay,
They
are we
blot out the
going?
sky.
Because you can, if I recall correctly. Take a moment to marvel at something no one has ever seen before and ask the table to describe it, or take a moment to watch a tiny moment of beauty and describe it to the table. Either one of those works for describing something, so essentially you'd be describing the bumblebees to us. Bumblefleas.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, whoever wants to go with me too, because I am very excited to check out the bumblefleas.
After everyone's
Well-
had their morning cup of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
Tippy would make a second one for Atlas because they look really out of it.
Thank you.
Yep, just make sure that you bring back the mug when you're done sightseeing. If you need anything, just let people know that the Otter residence is where you're staying, and they should be able to point you in the right direction.
I didn't plan on going anywhere. My neck's a little sore today.
Well, you're free to stay here.
I'm sure that Francisco could help you stretch out.
Oh yeah.
I think you guys have helped me enough. Thanks.
Francisco is also surprisingly good at neck massages.
Yeah, I believe that he probably is.
I would
just,
know. I'm like a third neck.
A third neck.
I just I'm working through some emotions in terms to a certain room full of people. So
Oh, are
I'm a
we
little
too much right now?
preoccupied. No. You're fine. He looks at Ginger. You're fine. You specifically.
I'm gonna snap my fingers and go like, okay. I'm fine.
Just gotta, I need a second to question some relationships.
Oh. Do you know someone here?
I've met some people who have recently done something. Looks at Taryn.
Karen does not
Oh.
notice.
Recent relationships.
Yeah, real recent.
Oh. Okay. I want to go look at bugs.
You do that.
Don't
Rose,
forget
you want to
your
go look at
umbrellas.
bugs?
It's supposed to be nicer today, but a nicer day here is still a little drizzly, so you're gonna want to bring an umbrella, or you'll come back like grass in the morning covered in dew.
That sounds delightful. But yeah, I'll take an umbrella.
Can I come too?
Yours.
Yay!
Let's go
Well,
look at bugs.
if she's going, I guess I'm coming too.
Nice.
All right, well, you guys have fun. We'll be here. I'll just be working around the house, so enjoy your stay.
Francisco, do you want to work at bugs? It's definitely work related. Yeah, I believe that. Okay. Cool. All right, we're all gonna go look at bugs. So I assume, like, when we're following the moths, there's a general trail where they like to go, where they quote unquote congregate. probably where they do a lot of like takeoffs and landings, where they like where like most people try, like a hub of some kind. So I'm basically just going to be watching the skies, following the humble bumble flea. And then I imagine that you all hear them first, but Ginger, who's more like attuned to like other like feelings outside, like other senses outside of hearing, can almost feel the vibration in the ground before she like sees them, because there's just a buzz in the air. And as we get closer, it just kind of rumbles louder and louder. And then when we finally get there, it's almost like a small earthquake at like all times, as they're just these giant bumblebees with these little bitty legs holding on to these like strings attached to baskets are like expertly zooming in and out, and they're cool. They're cool. And I imagine that they all have different like colored stripes on them, showing you different like locations that they go to, or different like brands, like different people that carry them along. Like you have your like
A
high
couple of them
class.
have company logos, but like they're also there for the cardinal directions for the sides of the lake that they frequent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you have your like high class bumble flea, which they're like, because they're kind of fuzzy. They're like well groomed, and then you have your, not so high class bumble flea that's like faded, and he's just trying his best.
Look, this one says Blamazon.
Blamazon. Yeah,
Someone
I
on
think
there
they
is
I
very
think they
upset
send out like
Russell.
packages, But I also hear that they don't always take the best care of their bugs.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's why I still have a job. I take care of my moths.
Moths are
Friggin'
precious.
Amazon.
They gotta be taken care of.
Oh yeah. Most people don't realize, but they all have little personalities, and you give to them and they'll give back.
Yeah, they've all got their own little quirks. They're like people, almost.
They are adorable. They look absolutely terrifying.
The bumble fleas?
The bumble fleas, yes. Ones that can't afford to like,
Groom them and paint them.
yeah, basically groom them. They just look like these spiky monsters. But the ones that are well groomed are like, they look fluffy and cute.
So we have fluffy cows in Terminants.
Yeah,
Oh
basically.
no.
The ones that have a little bit more flea than Bumble.
I'm just imagining like aphids with wings.
Ugh. Aphids have wings. They're awful. Just imagine a flea with wings.
Down, back, down, forward.
right, down, throw. Rinse, repeat.
No. No. Okay.
Down, left,
now
down, up, right.
we have to go somewhere. Let's see. Which one of these bumble fleas looks like they're going someplace cool? And
I like to
affordable?
imagine that there's like a colorful blimp in mostly reds, blues, and pinks. That is like it's a normal like hot air balloon, so it's just a balloon with a basket attached. But then there's a couple of bumble fleas basically pulling it like horses on a
chariot?
carriage.
Mhm.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
chariot.
Ooh, that one's colorful. Let's see where it's going.
And it comes in for a landing, and some kids get off and run off into the distance, giggling and screaming as they do.
Kid friendly. Let's go, Rose.
Yeah.
Wonder what the weight limit is on this thing.
I'm sure it's fine. They're professionals.
Okay, if you say so.
I do say so. Thank you.
That was kind of aggressive. Your doubt will not be forgotten.
God. Okay, hello, captain of vessel. Ahoy. Salutations.
Is this one of our smug captains?
Yes, I am making her now.
Ooh, her.
Nice.
I love how this
Uh,
this campaign has had so many like badass women in it.
Of course.
oh, gotta pull documents. While I'm doing this,
In the
Zurich.
distance, you hear someone almost killing their husband.
Zurich, what are you up to? We'll do a little segue here while I make the kif.
That's actually perfect.
Uh-oh.
Husky.
You there, Husky?
Oh, yep. Sorry, I had to step away briefly. I thought I had a moment. All right, I'm back again.
Well, now we're focused on you. What is Zurich doing?
Yeah, Zurich ran off to chase butterflies.
Yeah, Zurich woke up at about 6 o'clock in the morning there. Went downstairs, was going to make himself a coffee, then remembered this isn't his house, so he decided he'd wander about to try to find a coffee shop. And then next thing you know, a butterfly flies in front of his face, and he remembered what his granddaddy had told him. Is always chase them butterflies. You never know where they're going to lead you, but there's always an adventure behind them. And
Thought you
that's what
Isn't
he
said
that
did
how
taste.
you
there.
ended up in the maze?
Yep. Zurich will chase anything that small enough and flies.
Again, I thought you said taste.
You know, we don't have our pack bug anymore. We could just like tie a wagon to Zerg and put a little stick with a butterfly at the end of it.
It's a little paper mache butterfly with glitter.
Yeah, that'd probably do it. Zerk wouldn't be able to tell the difference. He gets lost on his own. You could tell him go straight down this path, 3 houses, and somehow he'll end up across town in the opposite direction.
So then what does Zurich find all the way out there?
Well, all the way out there, Zerk happens to find himself down in what seems like to be the art district there.
Ooh.
He's looking around. He sees all sorts of different sculptures and statues and paintings and wall art. Everywhere you look, it's like an artist's heaven. There's something always going on.
Ooh, I'm sure Doodle frequents there constantly.
That's where he got all the glitter.
All right, she done. So just keep going, but I am done.
And while wandering about there, Zerk happens to see something in the storefront there that catches his eye. It what was it again? It looks like a horn that it reminds me of the carapace horn that he'd once seen when he was young, very young. And it reminded him of a haunting melody that has only been taught to his people and his people alone by the wind gods. And at that moment there, he feels a gust of wind blow at his back, almost like his family's watching over him at this moment right now.
Aw.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so Zerk decides that he's gonna head in the shop there and he's gonna buy that horn.
Oh, why, hello there, mister. What can I do for
Oh,
you?
hello. Hello. I happen to notice that you have that beautiful carapace horn in the window there.
Ah, yeah, that's a real eye catcher.
Do you happen to have another one similar to it? I'm looking for one that's very, very specific.
Well, sure. Let me go ahead and take a look for you. Sort of like rifles through like a box in the back. Oh yeah, here we go. Walks out, like puts it on the counter. It's not shiny, but it definitely it's good. You can tell it's of fine quality.
Zerk picks it up there and looks it over, checks it over, and then briefly thinks about blowing into it, then remembers last time what happened when somebody blew into the horn, and he decides against it. And at that moment, Zerk kind of pauses, looks around, and thinks, you know what? I think I'll take it. How much for it? Their shopkeep?
Hmm. Well, as interesting as these look, they don't really sell very often. So for taking it off my hands, eh, you know what? You'll
Insert
keep it. Don't
reasonable
worry about it.
currency here.
I think it means more to you
Oh,
than it means to me.
oh, why, thank you so much. You made this old man so happy. And without even thinking about it or without any hesitation, Zerk just reaches over the counter and gives this shopkeeper just the biggest hug, lifting him off the floor ever so slightly, and then puts him down, and then walks away, happily carrying the horn.
Ugh. Nice old man. Real strong though. Ooh.
You live in a town of bears.
And otters.
Those bears be strong though.
Mhm.
They'll bite your ears off. Ooh, loop-dee doo, loop-dee-doo. Nice. Got a is it a porcelain?
Uh,
What kind of horn?
Whatever it says on my prompts and choices, the carapace carved horn. I don't never heard of that word before till now.
I think Hushi could get a token for
Oh,
that,
carapace
describing that
carved horn.
small
Yeah.
moment.
Okay, so it's like a horn made out of like a beetle carapace or something like that.
Okay.
Very nice.
What do you think, Foxy?
Say again?
I think he should get a token for describing that small moment.
Yes, I agree. New, 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 new.
Yay.
Yay! You got a token. You can spend. You can get more tokens through the top list, and you can spend tokens on the bottom list here for spend a token. And then on page 4 of your sheet over here, this last item also has a way for someone else to get a token when you interact with them. So,
Okay.
the last option on everybody's play sheets, their playbooks, things you can always do section, that last one is almost always token related. So yeah, get a good bird's eye view. I'll just give a little tidbit here for I locked that for you. Do a little tidbit here for Larkin, who has kind of just been walking along the lake edge, getting as close to it as he can. It's luckily mostly rocks. He avoids the sandy bits if he can with the wheelchair, but even the rocks prove a little difficult. So he's not made a ton of progress, but he's just enjoying taking in the sights, all the flying bugs, all the bears and otters running around, lots of otters fishing in the lake. He's just taking in the beautiful sights.
Aw. Is he not bothered by the rain?
Not in particular. He's got his coat on, and he does have the umbrella, but he's like attached to the umbrella to the wheelchair. So it's mostly there to protect the wheelchair at this point. And it is only drizzling, so it's not awful. He just every now and then ruffles his feathers and shakes his head, and a lot of dew flies off of him, and then he smooths back out. Does that bird thing, you know?
Oh yeah, crows have waterproof feathers, right?
I can't tell you.
He got that bird in him.
I can't remember the last time I saw a waterproof crow. It's either because they are waterproof or because, you know, they make efforts to not get wet. It's one of them.
Ah.
But yeah, that's what Larkin's up to. He's just enjoying the quiet, serene morning. The sky is kind of covered in the last remnants of like that bright yellow white of the dawn, and it's starting to give way to more of a hazy blue as the cloud cover takes over again. So you can tell there's this moment where like the sun rises right between the cloud line and the horizon. So you got that little flash of yellow before it becomes kind of an almost dreary, but it's still kind of pleasant blue-gray of rain clouds.
That is. I like this imagery. I like this.
It's a nice day.
It's my favorite kind of day. This is why I can describe it so well. But back at where were we? Oh yes. So we had a pink, purple, and blue hot air balloon charioted by a couple of likewise colored bumble fleas.
Hello.
The captain.
The captain, who's kind of sporting a intricately patterned but very nice, almost like a dress. It's just real long. When she turns around, she's got on pants as well. It's kind of open front,
Just
much
kidding.
like
your pants.
a captain cape, but looser, and it drapes itself more nicely. Ah, yes. Welcome. You seem new here.
We are new. We just showed up recently from the woods.
We don't get a lot of visitors, so I appreciate seeing new faces. So if you
I
are
like
new,
your cape.
are you looking for a tour?
Yes, you're giving a tour? Yes, 100%.
Yes, me and my beautiful balloon here, the Bifrost. We can take you all over the lake. I can show you some of the choice spots if you're looking to find something new to experience.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes?
Rose sticks her hand up, like she's got a
Yes.
question.
The small one in front. How can I help you?
So you said it's called the Bifrost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean there are two frosts, or does the balloon like boys and girls? What's the?
I don't think the balloon likes anyone. I like boys and girls. But that's
Oh.
exactly the point. It's also called the Bifrost because you'll want to bundle up just a little bit. It gets a little nippy higher up in the altitudes. Luckily, you all seem to be perfectly equipped with some balloons already. Or sorry, some umbrellas already. So that should help out. You won't have the dew frosting to your skin.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. Well, for some new folk, I won't even charge you. I don't anyway. I just enjoy flying. They let
Oh,
me do it
reasonable
and also
price.
offer me some food and such. If I just fly people around, it's great.
Who's
I
they?
love that.
Like the mayor?
Just the community. We're pretty tight knit. Again, I recognize new faces because I know all the regulars.
Oh, well, that seems pretty nice.
Yeah, we're spread out in little pockets, but as a fairy woman, I get to see all of them. I visit them almost every single day. Each corner, that is. Here, come. And she like opens the side of this pretty large wagon space.
Basket.
Like it could easily fit. If you were packed like sardines, you could probably fit 15 people. So there's plenty of standing room, and it's lifted up with a very large balloon. The bumblefleas are currently lapping up some water because they landed right by the coastline, basically.
It's sugar water.
I wouldn't be surprised this place is a mirage.
It would make sense if it were sugar water.
It's too sweet water. But yeah, they're just chilling, and the captain is offering you a ride.
Yes.
Well, as long as it's
Ginger
safe, I don't see
immediately
why
gets-
not.
Oh, I have been doing this for years. You have nothing to worry about. I'm arguably one of the best captains around. I'm just saying.
Well,
It'll be fine. What could go wrong?
Rose is already inside.
Hopping up and down, like looking over the side of the basket.
Like, all right, I'm coming.
Yay, father figure. Francisco is going to politely decline. I think I'll go look for a bookstore. I'm sure they have some very interesting selections here. You have fun though.
Oh, well, if you're looking for books, follow the coastline further to the south. That's that way. And she points with her fingers. It'll take you a while, but you'll hit the next town over. There's a writer over there. One of the few in town that is based out of here. They have books that you literally cannot find anywhere else because they don't leave out our area.
That sounds delightful. I'm in no rush, so I'm sure I'll get there eventually.
We'll keep an eye out for you on the balloon. Give us a little wave if you notice us.
Will do. Give a little umbrella spin.
Ah, wonderful. Anyway, once you guys are firmly in, the captain gives a little tug on the harness and reins that are attached to the bumblefleas. Give them a little pull, and they kind of get into position. And captain gets into the basket as well and locks it. All right, first we got to take off. So everyone hold on. It can be a little bumpy at first.
Yee.
And
Ginger has like the biggest shit-eating grin right now.
Rose is
Very
holding onto the
excited.
side of the basket while Taryn is obviously holding onto her.
So the way that it kind of takes off, because they're not speaking words, they're kind of just giving command sounds, like whistles and clicks and things like that. And the bumblefleas rise to each side of the basket, basically around the balloon, and pull up at a bit of an angle to lift it directly up into the air. And it lifts surprisingly easily. So you can tell that basically it was these two bumblefleas lifting only you guys, because it probably the balloon perfectly balances the weight of the basket. So there's a little lurch as just all of a sudden, boom, we're up in the air. And then it smoothly starts gliding up and up and up. I also imagine that despite how high you guys go, there's this weird effect where the mountains always seem to be taller than your current position. And it just further closes off this area, as if it really is some impassable wall, lending into that mirage feeling.
Oh no, not 4D golf.
I'm gonna look
you
at the
play 4D
captain and
golf
be
again.
like, so I guess you can't go over the mountains.
Nah, there's not much reason to either. There's nothing out there from what I've heard.
Who'd you hear that from?
Other people that have traveled in. We got a couple every now and then. You're the most recent ones.
Oh, so people
Um,
have left here before?
Well, yes. There was a, oh jeez, very timid and anxious turtle.
Oh, well, I guess that's true. He did technically leave. He didn't get very far though.
Yeah, he's one of the few regulars that we had from outside. most people either get here and stay, or, gosh, they just go missing. We're not sure what happens to them.
Go missing.
Yes.
Well, that's reassuring.
Also, never, by the way, Foxy, never. Never playing 4D golf again.
It can stretch your mind into the fourth dimension.
Yeah, it stretched my mind all right, but in ways I really didn't like. Oh, man.
Just got to change your perspective to also span time.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
So after a little bit of like the balloon rising and like looking over, there's a lot of other balloons and such that are only slightly above or below where you're at, or right on level. But you're clearly at like what would be like flight level. This is the level that most people choose to fly at, generally speaking. It's not too high off the ground. Like you'd have no problem making out someone's face if they were just on the ground. But it's definitely high enough up that you're like, you feel like you're flying.
Because you are.
Because you are. The captain gives a whistle, and the bumblefleas kind of join together from they fly down and rejoin each other. And there's another little lurch in the cabin as it suddenly starts shooting off in one of the directions.
Oh, you're using sounds for those. Are you whistling? Do you have like hand signals? Do they just hear you? How?
Sound is definitely the better way to go. They're watching where they're going, so I can't guarantee that they'll see me if I, wave my hand. And quite frankly, I don't have the strength to pull back on these guys and have them going in whatever direction I want them to. So I basically have a up, down, and then north, south, east, west. They seem to know their directions, and each one has an associated sound.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's very
Yeah, I mostly
efficient.
just deal with moths. They just they already know where they're going.
Ah, yes, very independent moths.
But they have their own quirks.
I imagine the cleanup is probably the hardest bit. They leave dust everywhere.
Oh, they really do. Oh my gosh. Like that was you spend your first 2 years as a moth tender literally just cleaning yourself, the shop, the just don't you don't, no.
Probably a lot of sweeping, I'd imagine.
Never want to sweep again.
Well, clearly you've made it past your 2 years. How long have you been a moth tender?
Oh, I actually haven't been a moth tender that long, probably about 4 years. I've been kind of learning as I go. I have actually Francisco the turtle that decided to stay behind. He's kind of my mentor esque. We tend to work together. Most moth tenders, they don't go out on their own the first time, and we just decided to stick together for a while. Work well together.
Aye, so a bit of a pilgrim's journey, if you will. Getting the ropes.
Yeah,
great.
he's a lot better at paperwork, but I'm pretty good at talking. So
Well, it's a good combination of skills. And what about you? Looks over at Taryn.
Huh? Taryn is like,
I see
Like,
that you
what-
got yourself a very impressive shield. Are you something of a warrior?
well, not really. It's more of a cooking utensil, really. You can tell that Taryn is like taking deep breaths, trying to stay calm, but like also has like a vice grip on like the hood of
actually,
Rose's poncho.
replace them.
So like he's keeping it together, but like you can tell he's not entirely at home in the air.
I feel like it would take no trouble at all for Ursula, which is her name.
I noticed how you spelled that. I appreciate
Yes.
it.
To pick up on your worry and just be like, you don't have to worry, dear. My entire occupation here is completely ASHO certified.
Sorry,
They
what
have a
certified?
certification.
ASHO, you know?
Uh, Rose kind of snickers.
The occupation securing homes and other, or the association securing homes and occupations, they make sure that everything that we do is safe as we're up in the air. I've had too many incidences of people falling out of boats because their railings weren't high enough for anything.
Sure, I'm sure they're reputable.
We have had a lot less incidences since they took over, giving us some instructions on how to keep things safe.
I've known
Um,
some reputable uh uh people in my time. You know, the safety people.
Yes,
The safe people. Yeah, do they also do the safety dance?
They do the safety dance, actually. Thank you. It's very important.
well, we have the benefit that I've heard tell that other balloons, right, that fly like this, they apparently use fire to make that happen.
Fire!
Yes, we found our own way to float. Takes a while, but basically our entire balloon is a sealed object. We don't have to heat it up or anything like that, so it takes fire completely out of the occasion. You don't have to worry about the
Oh,
Zeppelin burning down.
man. Also, 100% later, Ginger's gonna have to make up some kind of like safety dance to like teach Rose with like 100% sincerity.
Wait, so what do you fill the balloons with then? It can't be air, can it?
Well, you see, you'll have to believe it when I tell you, but there's a waterfall. We're actually heading in its direction. It's on the northern edge of the lake, and it feeds the majority of the lake. There's a That's one of our larger towns. You should see it coming into view now. And if you look over the Zeppelin's like basket and you look towards the direction you guys are flying, presumably north, you'll see that like there is this pretty large lakeside town, if you will. It's got easily like 40, 50 houses in it, which is easily double what you saw in the other places dotted around uh, the lake. And there's a pretty large river cutting that 40, 50 houses in half, basically, being fed from somewhere in the mountains.
Ooh,
And
this
it's
place is
what's
happening.
primarily going into the lake. So there's a waterfall. The mist from the waterfall seems to float up forever. So what we did is we've simply collected that mist and filled the balloon with it.
That's cool.
Huh. Now that sounds like some hocus pocus.
Ah, but here you are, lifted in the air by the water balloon.
Huh. I guess you're right.
And the bugs. Good little bugs.
Ah, yes, they're wonderful. Yeah, most of the other airships, like Zeppelins and hot air balloons and all that kind of stuff, is actually made on the south side. So they have a larger forest over there that they can use for materials. Farming is taken care of on the west, where they've got larger open fields to work with. So travel is a very important part of our town here. We travel all the time between the various port cities, keeping everyone supplied with everything that they need.
How? This place seems pretty big. I guess it's just like a self-functioning town. Do you guys ever run out of stuff?
We haven't yet. We try to be very mindful about you know, how much each person is using. But otherwise, I mean, it's pleasant weather all year round, and thus it is always seems to be in the growing season of whatever it is that we need.
I haven't run into anyone that's, also trying to leave. I mean, I assume there's people that
Well, the people
don't
trying to
want to
leave
live
are just
here
not here.
forever. What?
Naturally, the people that want to leave are just not here.
Well, I guess so. How did you get here?
I was born and raised.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I'm
Grew up
really glad that you like it.
in a small house on the south side, so I basically built this here balloon myself.
Ooh,
Yep.
small business owner. Good job.
Mhm.
Okay, I wanna try something. Uh, I want to reveal something hidden about the person in front of us and ask you what it is.
Ooh, we're
What?
using a token.
Yes,
So
using the
you're
playing
spending
card.
a token to
I
reveal
love it.
something hidden about the person flying the boat, the captain, Ursula.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So and you get to tell us what it is.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. Okay. Let me think. Let me think.
I also can't delete tokens. I think only you can do that.
So if you highlight it and then right click, there's no delete option.
Well, it's grayed out for me.
Cool. I'll just delete it.
Just yeet it into the void.
We just take it and yeet it.
Push it somewhere else.
But something hidden. Let me take a look at this little kith sheet we've got going. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So the airship that essentially everyone is traveling on, as you guys are traveling along, you hit a tiny spot of turbulence, and it's less turbulence. It's more that the bumblefleas got distracted for a moment, and seemed to have like looked to the left, and you could feel just the slight shift as everyone in the basket goes to the right. When that happens, one of the seats that are in the airship, they're just wicker sheets that appear to be just built into the structure, pops open, and you can see that there's like some food, some other supplies. There's a bedroll that's in there, and it all comes spilling out.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Ginger's gonna try to pick some of it up and put it back in. Oh, your stuff fell out.
Oh.
You
You just
you hear
live in
that
this basket?
once everyone's got their footing, Ursula gives a clap, and the bumblefleas come to like a stop and sort of hover like bumblebees do. They just hover around the basket, and she starts picking up stuff. Oh, my apologies. I usually keep that more secured.
Do you live in here?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it get cold? On the
Well,
rain?
I don't call it the Bifrost for nothing. Luckily, the balloon does kind of act as an umbrella, although... And she looks up, and this thing is basically a ball. It's a sphere. Unfortunately, it would any water that hits the top of it kind of just trails down it and falls directly into the basket. I've been trying to find a solution for that, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, this is home. Built it myself.
Oh, do you not want to live in a house, or is this your choice, or?
It's wonderful. The transitory lifestyle. No one ever leaves or needs to leave the town of El Dorado, so I find my own way to feel like I'm traveling. I'm always on the road.
Oh, okay. So I imagine you wouldn't want to take up space in a house that someone else might need if they were in it more.
Space is something of a commodity. We have plenty of it, but again, we're very mindful of the future. We try to only use what we need to, for the most part.
Have you tried hooking an umbrella like upside down to it so the water drips into it and then you can just dump that out?
Well, that is a wonderful idea. Well, maybe I'll pick something up. I can try to fashion something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, and I could add a little pipe so it drains directly through to the middle of the boat. Yes, yes. And she's like rubbing her chin and like looking at the bottom of the balloon. You can tell she's musing over some thoughts.
Upon hearing all this, Taryn kind of like takes a deep breath and like relaxes a little more because now knowing that that she like not only like it makes her living off of this, but like she also lives here. Like she would know it better than anyone else.
That's
So-
fair. Yeah.
So he chills out a little bit.
Yeah, I can definitely work out something. That'll be a fun little project. It's nice. See, this is why we love having new people here. You guys are wonderful. You bring new ideas to the town.
Aw. Thanks. You're just spitballing.
How often do you get visitors?
It's hard to tell. Time works a little. I won't say it works strange. It's just hard to keep track of. We're told that the outside has like 5 seasons and a pretty wild weather between them. But for the most part, it's like this every single day here.
I would imagine that would be.
Where are we?
I would
California?
imagine that would be hard to imagine if you never left your area.
California, but it's more like Washington State weather, but all year round.
Right, there we go. That's what it. That's where it fits.
It's England.
It's England.
Oh no! I'm scared of what the food's gonna taste like.
Oh no.
You can take new ideas, such as seasoning.
Well, wait. We don't have to worry about because some fantastic person literally put on here 2 satisfying food. So
Oh yeah, that was me. I did that.
there you go. There you go. You saved us.
It's tubed. You don't know where they're finding all these seasonings. All right. Thanks for helping me pick that up. And she closes that and kind of gives it a kick. Good. Now it'll stay closed. All right. And she gives another like downturn whistles, and with a little lurch, the basket starts moving again.
He gave like the dad pat that's like, yep, I ain't going anywhere.
Just that solid slap to the side that's like, it's secure. Anyway, you were saying it's more of a cooking utensil. She suddenly picks up where she left off in trying to find more information about Taryn.
Oh, right. You see, and he sort of like unfastens it from his back and like lays it out in front of him. It's like, see, it's shaped kind of like a walk, you know, and it makes awful lot of food. It's good for traveling with a big group.
We have
Well-
had many a meals.
You guys do seem to be a sizable group. Jeez. 4 of you already? And you're just getting... That's the largest group that we've had in a while.
Wow, word travels fast around here. I take it.
Well, I mean, you left 1 of you, and there's 3 of you here, so 4.
Oh,
Well,
right. I
actually,
can't count.
there's 5,
6.
6.
7. 7 and a wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, there
Our
was
group
one
is
point where I think
always
there was
larger
9 of
than I
us.
think it is.
Yeah, I think there was 9 of us at one point.
Atlas, Zurich, Ginger, Francisco, Terran, Rose, Larkin, and Larkin's 4 small and forgotten gods. So 11 technically if you count each small and forgotten god as a separate NPC, but I'll just count them all as just Larkin plus. So 7.
So at one point we were at 14.
Yup,
Yeah.
that was a time.
Ugh.
With Green Sky,
Green Sky
Bob
and
and
Keen Rain
and
and
Keen
Bob.
Rain.
But then we also had Ember and
Wisp and Whisper.
Wisp and Whisper. So there was another 6.
Freaking Whisper, asshole.
You were his favorite.
Ugh. I know.
But continuing on, it's like, yes, and this is your daughter, I assume? She's very cute.
Thanks. Well, yes. Yeah, she's mine.
Oh, it's just wonderful. We love a good working father. So where are you guys traveling to or from?
Claim that.
What?
This is the first time that I've heard him actually say that. Ginger is so proud. He's not just father figure.
Your dad.
The dad who stepped up.
Ginger's gonna like clasp his shoulder and just give him a look and like a nod.
Thumbs up, just yes.
Taryn is visibly embarrassed.
Where are you traveling to or from? You out visiting family? What's got you on the road, family man?
Oh well, we decided early on that it was good for her to broaden her horizons and see new places before eventually, choosing a lifestyle of her own,
Ooh, that sounds wonderful. And what about you? What was your name, dear?
Rose.
Ah, Rose. Beautiful name. How have you been enjoying your travels?
Well, there's been a lot of really, really good things and a couple of weird, maybe not so good things, but Dad, and she like looks at him. He tells me that any good journey has its ups and downs, so I'd like to think it was good so far.
That is a wise father you have right there.
I'm legitimately so excited right now.
Well, you'll have to tell me about it sometime. I'd love to hear about the outside. Again, we don't get a lot of visitors, let alone, the turtle was not very well traveled, apparently. All he kept talking about was a maze. So if you have stories from beyond the maze, well, you guys are a treasure to have around.
Maybe we'll get Francisco to write something.
Oh,
Ooh, that'd be
wonderful.
cool. He does write all the time. I should probably pay
You hear
attention.
a little whistle, and the wagon, the basket starts to descend. Just towards a empty spot on the beach near the north town. I figure since you guys are new, you'll probably want to take your time. There's a lot to see here at the north town. You could maybe even go and see the waterfall out in the distance.
Ooh,
I'll
that
go ahead
sounds
and leave you
fun.
here. And she looks up at the sky with like a very trained eye. It's like, I'll be back in, say, about 4 hours. That should give you guys plenty of time, and I will make sure to get you back to your side of town so that you're not having to walk the whole way. Maybe we'll even go all the way to the south side and pick up your friend Francisco, was it?
Yes, Francisco. He might have made it by the time we get over there.
Yeah, you can stop by and go and look at the library with it.
I like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
As you guys are nearing the ground, with like 3 kind of big steps, Ursula like jumps out the back of the basket, grabbing onto it, and essentially acts as just the physical embodiment of an anchor and brings the basket to a stop in just this beautiful show of muscle.
Damn.
Ooh.
Glistening biceps.
I'm gonna make
The
Zurk
listener
jealous there.
says nothing, gives thumbs up.
After it comes to a stop, and she notices the bumble fleas go around to get a drink of water. She gives a stretch. She's like, "Oh, yes, very nice. Well, I'll go ahead and let you guys off here." And she opens the side of the basket.
Thank you.
My name is Ursula. You can find my wagon. It is very colorful, and I'm sure you'll have no problem identifying it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ursula.
And as seeing all of you. All right, I will leave you guys to it. You can ask anyone in town, and they'll point you in the direction of the waterfall. Or if you're looking for any other sites, we're all very friendly here. Food, sights, sounds, take it all in.
Ooh, very exciting.
She hops into the wagon and starts. You can hear that she opens up the compartment that had all of her stuff in it, and she's kind of reorganizing it a little bit better, but hasn't taken off yet.
All right, let's
Well, let's get
see.
going.
All right. I do want to take this moment to jump across because we haven't heard from them in a minute.
Cross
Atlas.
the pond.
Yes. Scene change.
No, 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 no.
What?
No, 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 no.
What's up?
What's Atlas up to over the course of, I'd say, probably a good half-hour airboat ride?
Honestly, the only thing I can think he'd be doing right now is not going outside.
What's he doing inside?
Drinking lots of coffee, and then he'll inevitably switch from coffee to tea because that feels like the appropriate thing to switch to. Other than that, probably just lounging. He really doesn't want to go outside. He does not appreciate the weather.
He's not inspired to pen a poem.
He has never penned a poem. Ever.
Okay. Well, Tippy would do his best to be hospitable, make you some tea when you switch to that. Here, Tippy doesn't act as a creative writer so much. I imagine he's probably a more technical writer and writes things in relation to the what do you call it? The airboats and the logistics of running some port services. So he's probably in his own little quiet study for the most part, but says that you can always pop in and ask if you need anything since he knows you'll be here all day. I don't know if
Atlas's response would probably be, "Thanks, I probably won't."
And then I don't know if Doodle will be up by now.
If it's only been like half an hour to an hour, probably not.
Yeah, so he's still sleeping. Right, cool. Well, let's also shift over to Zurich, who is chasing butterflies.
And buying things. He's
And
being a
buying
real
things.
tourist, like a good tourist.
A good tourist.
Yeah, in about that half-hour period there, Zurk probably had ended up getting distracted again, followed another butterfly, and then the butterfly flew up too high for him, and so he stopped chasing that butterfly and started wandering around the area and noticed something that looked like a almost like a path or like a gap between buildings that has been covered up by vines and stuff. Just out of natural curiosity, Zurk starts wandering down this path and to see where it takes him. Just going on his own little adventure off the quote unquote beaten path. And that's when he ends up at a, what was it again? that's when he ends up feeling like he's being watched in some sort of way. But as he's looking around, he can't seem to notice anybody in particular. So he ends up calling out, "Hello, is anybody out there? I seem to be lost."
Where are you at?
Just on a beaten path in behind buildings and stuff like that that has been covered up by vines. Like it's
So
something that
there was
hasn't
a
been
well-worn
traversed in a
path,
while.
but it has since fallen to disuse.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello? Who's out there? Hello?
uh, it's me. My name's Zurich. Who might I be talking to?
Hi. I'm, Sally. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Sally. Yeah, this is my lot. I live here.
Oh,
Hello?
hi. Oh, hello. Yes, hi. I'm so sorry for intruding. I just
Are
saw
you?
something that caught my eye.
Oh, well, what is it? It
Well,
might be mine.
that's kind of hard to explain because it's almost like it's real, but it's not at the same time. Almost as if it's one of those whatchamacallits,
Oh, the
those things you
mirage?
see. Yeah, yeah, that's it. The mirage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got lots of those around here.
Oh,
Oh, they
really?
just you kind of get an idea of where you're at, and then you're suddenly not there, and then you're going somewhere else, and then I live right here, right now, because that's just where I am. I might live 2 streets down 2 days from now. Who knows? Mirages will get ya.
Yeah, it seems like this mirage ended up getting me here, and now I don't know how to leave.
Oh well. I also don't know how I got here.
Huh, well, it looks like we're both gonna be stuck here for a little while till we can figure out a way to get a message out or get a hold of somebody somehow.
Oh, I just
Do
hang out until it's time to go.
time to go where?
I don't know yet. It's not time to go.
Okay, well, if you say so, would you mind
She's
if I
gonna
came
pull
in and took a
out
seat?
like a teapot. Yeah, so let's just have some tea. I don't get a lot of visitors at my house. There is no house.
As
This
Eric walks
guy,
over.
What?
this
Oh,
guy gives me the same vibes as the homeless dude from Polar Express.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I feel 100%. That's who he is. So he's just like generally bears are like this really, really, like buff, like big guy. This bear is seen some shit. They're wearing like raggedy clothes. Like they I'm trying to think. They're wearing like ragged clothes, but for some reason they always seem to be able to pull the exact things that they need from their bag at any given point in time. It does not look like it should work, but it does.
Got the Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah. I'm waiting for this image to load. I'm very excited.
I don't know why Discord is struggling right now with
It
images.
sure is.
that is great. So, Sir takes the time to sit down at
Yes, basically.
oh, Zerg takes the time to sit down on what he assumes is just a nearby stump there and continues to chat with his newfound friend and takes out his pipe for a moment. Do you mind if I smoke this? Or if not, that's fine. I can put it away. I know some people aren't keen
Oh
to the
no, no,
smell of
no. Go
tobacco.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm barely hanging on as it is. Let's enjoy ourselves. He's like
Yeah,
constantly scratching. I think I have some snacks here. Ah. Oh shit. I don't like the actual like bald. The wrinkles though.
That is what a shaved bear looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I don't know who did it or why.
They don't look happy about it.
No, I wouldn't be either.
That's what I
Nope,
look like when
hate
I
it.
shave
Carry
my
on.
beard off.
So, what brings you around here?
Oh, just chasing butterflies, like my old grandpappy told me to, and next thing you know, they led me to this path covered in vines, and I figured, I'd walk off the beaten path there, follow my heart and its desires,
Oh,
see where
you
it
got to
takes
be
me.
careful how you treat those paths. You beat them too hard and they'll leave you
Oh, don't worry, I
stranded
take care of my
somewhere.
paths.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good because that's my house.
Well, it's a very lovely house you have here, sir.
Thanks. And it's like kind of poured this tea, which is questionable at best. But it is still tea.
Zerg takes it, picks it up for a moment, sniffs it. That's such a wonderful aroma.
Thanks. I made it myself.
Oh, really? You might have to give me the recipe at some time if that's all right with you. I've got some friends that I think would absolutely love your tea.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I can do that. And then they just kind of go over and they start pulling on the vines until they find some like random flowers like high up in it that are you didn't realize, but it's glowing slightly, which is the only reason you can see anything. And when you look up, you realize there's a lot of these blooms everywhere. Yeah, so sometimes these flowers will tell you things that you didn't ask. It's also kind of fun to put it in tea because then the tea will answer questions that you didn't ask.
Oh, really? Well, that sounds very interesting. I think me and this tea could get along quite well.
Oh
I
yeah,
tend to.
although sometimes I find it to be a little intrusive. Like they were trying to tell me like, oh, you go this way and you figure this thing out and follow the prophecy and then you'll actually get out of here. And I'm like, I don't want to get out of here. This is my house. I didn't ask for this information.
Zurich looks at the bear in front of him, tilts his head a little bit. Oh, the prophecy. Wait, whoa. What do you mean the prophecy?
Oh, you haven't heard of everyone knows about the prophecy.
Well, no, I haven't actually. Me and the group of people I'm traveling with, we just arrived in town here not too long ago. We're actually not from the area whatsoever. We happened to venture through a maze, and when we got to the center, it led us here.
Oh, you went to the maze? Yeah, I had some friends back in the maze, but I don't know if they're my friends anymore. They were out there, but it's been a long time since I've actually seen them. And he just kind of zones out. It's been a real long time.
Blank stare. Camera. Camera zooms in.
Yeah, I don't know why, but in that moment, I feel like Zerk could just do the same thing. They just both blankly stare at each other, just like they don't know what to say,
Sipping
but they have a
tea.
lot to say.
Anyway, so the prophecy. Now, don't quote me. It's been a minute since they've told me the prophecy. I haven't talked to the juice in a long time. Maybe we can, let's drink some tea and maybe we can convince the prophecy to tell you what it is.
All right, I think that sounds like a wonderful idea. without even thinking about it, Zerg takes a small sip, and this is such wonderful tea, and then gulps the whole cup back.
Oh, you
I hope
shouldn't
you
have
packed
done
your
that.
bags, kid. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
basically.
Go on a trail.
So,
Oh,
how you feeling there, bud?
my head feels
Here,
a
let's
little
sit you down
fuzzy.
here. Okay.
You Canadian? Okay.
Okay.
Okay there, bud.
Okay. What if I had 20 different accents all at once? This is a homeless bald bear, okay? You can
I
have
feel like this
20
is just your inner wild child. This is your inner mountain man.
Okay, so the prophecy. I would imagine that it is something along. So I don't remember, Husky, if you were here for oh, what was it? Where we talked about there was someone we were supposed to save in the middle of the maze.
No, I think I had
So
missed that. Zerg was quote unquote sleeping.
So there
Gotcha.
was 3 people that had actually regularly traveled into the maze that actually live in Grimlight, quote unquote. 2 of them live in Grimlight. The third person is still in the maze, I believe is what we had said. So you had the tall tuxedo cat in a full gown. They claimed that they're between them and the crow lady, their youngest brother was the one that went into the maze and had to stay there for some reason. We didn't cover it
Okay.
too much, but that was like the gist of it. Was
Yeah,
like,
Okay.
Vex occasionally visits.
and Vex occasionally visits.
Mm-hmm. So
Whereas
I
Clara
imagine.
doesn't go in.
Clara went once and is like, never again. Vex is
Nope.
like, I'll make regular trips. And then the third one that we don't have a name for or anything information on, other than knowing that somehow they exist, is always in the maze.
Mm-hmm.
So just to play off the one that's already in the maze, since we already have what was it? It was
It
a
was
watchful
what?
creature who hides from the outside. What if that person that is supposed to stay in the maze kind of goes between the maze and El Grotto here, and that's the watchful
Oh.
creature from the outside.
Mm-hmm. Like they're the ones they kind of gatekeep it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They're
Mhm.
probably also like, they have a strong, almost butterfly, like spirit butterfly vibe, where
Oh, yeah.
it's hard to identify them because every time you see them, they might be a little different. Because
And
like as time goes on, they simply change over time.
mm-hmm. Anyone can jump in on this prophecy making.
Yeah, at this point, Zerk will believe anything after drinking the magic glowing tea.
I like to imagine that like the prophecy, because is that like they're kind of the conduit. Their constant change comes from the fact that this place never changes. They're taking all the change away and keeping it in this kind of stasis. And the prophecy is, if that ever breaks, if that connection ever falters, then essentially the lagoon region will rejoin the rest of Hearth or Haith. I forget how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And basically stop being a mirage.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
yeah, not 100% sure if that's a good thing or not.
mm-hmm. And most people feel like they've heard the prophecy, but no one ever tells anyone the actual prophecy. Everyone just has sort of the same understanding that it lives in their dream. They all, if they spend enough nights here, will eventually dream of the prophecy. But
Mhm.
nobody talks about the prophecy, like how nobody talks about Fight Club. It's just a thing that nobody talks about.
Yeah,
Um,
like one of those things where it's like it's a story that everyone knows so well that they don't think about talking about it.
It just is second nature to be like, the story, the prophecy.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
prophecy. We don't have to talk. We know the prophecy. It's fine. It's the prophecy.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
also one of those dreams that's like at the tip of your tongue. Like you don't quite remember all of the details. But there's
it always
almost like
feels
a
like a dream that you just woke up from, where you can pick and choose little details to remember, but it's fuzzy.
yeah, yeah. You don't quite have all the details down. The only way that this person has like a decent amount of details is because they put themselves in like a crazy state.
They never
Like
fully
drinking
wake
too
up.
much tea.
They kind of are in this like half awake state at all times by being so tired because they stay up all the time in the forest drinking hallucinogenic tea.
Yeah.
This place is starting to feel more and more like Xanarkand.
This I just wanted to introduce the rare and exotic flower.
No, that was perfect. That was the whole
That's a good
reason
use,
Zurich had
yeah.
ventured off into the unbeaten path there.
I also like the idea that like out of character, we would look at this and be like, "Are you the watchful creature, you strange old man living in a forest drinking strange teas from rare and mystical flowers?"
Oh shit, they could be.
But we don't know yet. We just don't know.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
waiting.
we don't
Oh, and
we
It
don't
might be the
know.
dramatic reveal.
Oh shit. Susan.
Ooh.
Clearly not a woman.
So yeah, that's that's. I also like to imagine that like while you're out, you'll like hear this prophecy and like be able to pick up on it more than normal for some reason. So you can actually like recall it decently well. Probably because you chugged the tea.
Yeah.
You
But
opened your third eye.
Basically, yeah.
I forget the magic card, but there's one that has the flavor text that like, why stop at 3? Keep drinking the water. And it just shows even more eyes opening up.
Oh my god.
But I like to imagine that you like wake up back in town and you're like, oh geez, was any of that real? Questioning all reality. And you realize you may figure out why this guy's a little crazy.
You know what? I like it because it totally plays into Zurich's kind of like.
Oh, so you wake
Not
up and then you realize, oh, I guess it was my time to go.
yeah.
Oh, I guess it was. Huh, look at that. Get out. You didn't respect the tea. I'm a sipping drink, not a chugger. Don't
Well, that was one
chug
of
me.
that was one of the first things that they said was like, "Oh, we're not going to go anywhere because it's not time to go yet.
It says, "Oh, it's your time. Bye.
Goodbye."
Bye now."
Why?
I could almost see Larkin just rolling up to Zurich, just lying on the ground, like, oh.
He's laying down right by the lake too. Like he's nowhere near a forest. He's super out of the middle, just waking up, the water slightly lapping against his heels, and he's just like, "Ugh."
What?
It's
Where am
overcast, but
I?
somehow the sun is still too bright.
Like a bad hangover.
You hear squeak, 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 squeak. Zurich, is that you?
I like how
Larkin?
we lost Zurich and then we just find him passed out by the fucking lake.
This is the second time that I've found you in a rather precarious situation. God, are you feeling well? And Larkin will like go and like help lift you up a little bit so you're sitting up.
Yeah, sitting up, resting against the base of the tree, Zurich raises up his right hand, puts it against his face, and just rubs it a little. Oh, I shouldn't have drank so much tea. Oh. you doing here, Larkin? How'd you end up here in the off off the path like I did?
Well, I wouldn't describe myself as off the path. I just followed the side of the lake. I've been just taking in the sights. I didn't expect to see you this far away. I mean, I assumed we could have gone in the same direction, but geez, you really are worse for wear.
Yeah, Zerk takes a moment to look around. Lake? Wait, what do you mean? I'm not in the middle of the forest. I was just in the forest like what feels like not even 2 minutes ago. How did I end up out here?
Sir, your hind paws are wet with water. You'd like look down and just see that your feet are just in the water slightly.
Yeah, Zerk's just sitting there, just wiggling his toes. Huh? I guess they are.
At this moment, Zurich will like feel a tiny, tiny little tug as something small is like climbing up the side of your cloak. And then like goes to essentially rest on your chest a bit and is looking at you, and it's this little tiny moss person basically.
Yeah,
Like
Zerk looks down his.
the
Oh, go ahead.
Totodamas from Princess Mononoke, you know, the little
Yeah, the little
Oh,
bobbles.
shape
yeah.
basically, but it's just made of moss
Yeah.
and a little smaller. It's like half the size of those things and made of moss, and it's just looking at you, turns its head to the side.
Makes
Zerk,
that ding sound.
Zerk rubs his eyes a little bit, confused, just wondering what this thing is. He just stares at it briefly, and looks over Larkin. Do you see this thing right here? He points to his chest.
Yes, that's Woad. I'm actually surprised to see him out. He likes to stick with his boulder. Woad, this little moss guy, is going to like rub his hands together really fast, and there's like this yellow as like a pollen shows up, and then he blows it onto your face and cures your hangover
Aw.
Oh,
because
that's
he is
nice.
miraculous.
Oh no, the prophecy.
The prophecy, yeah.
You
The prophecy is true.
don't understand. I had to be insane to understand.
I'm too sane to understand the crazy.
You know what? That almost describes Zerk a little too perfectly. But after that happens, Zerk looks down at Woad and gives him a little pleasant smile. Thank you, Woad. I greatly appreciate that. He,
uh,
It kind of like jumps in place, like raising its hands above its head in a little cheer, and then like rolls down your cloak to land plop on the ground, and then goes. It does a little waddle run to the boulder, and just rejoins the moss that's on top of the boulder in the wheelchair.
watching this, Zerk can't help but just let out a little chuckle, and then once Woad rejoins the boulder again, Zerk stands up slowly, bracing himself against the tree before giving the boulder a little pat, thanking
Zerg,
him
if you
once again.
go ahead.
No, go on.
Oh no, that was it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you happen to check your pockets at some point, there is a blue flower glowing slightly.
Well,
The
since
prophecy.
Zerk is going to not ignore that for now, but he's going to push it out of his mind for the moment, just trying to recall what had happened and if he had wandered off and ended up by the lakeside there and had some mysterious dream about meeting this stranger in the middle of the forest there, and then once he ends up reuniting with his friends once again, that's when he would notice the blue flower glowing in his pocket.
I like to imagine it makes the ever so smallest, teeniest, tiniest, slightest hum of Nernroot.
Uh,
No. Oh no, the PTSD.
I like murder.
Seeing you doing better, Larkin will stand up and go back to his wheelchair and take the umbrella off and offer it to you, since you are rather like soaked from head to toe on the front because you were face up in drizzle for an unknown amount of time. So as stated, you are now covered with dew like grass in the morning.
Zerk will politely decline, and he takes a moment to step away a couple of feet there, and then starts vigorously shaking his entire body, and then takes off his cloak and gives it a couple of good flicks, and then gets off all the water as best as he can, then wraps himself up in his cloak again. Ah, there we go. That's much better.
Ah, yes, I imagine having a head to toe cloak like that would be useful for just this situation. I guess that is how you've made it this far traveling. Well, we're
Yeah,
right
I
on the
can.
edge of town. Shall we head back in and maybe find you something warm to sit inside of, like a building?
That would be a wonderful idea. If I'm left out here alone, I might not end up making it back in town. I might somehow end up back in the maze once again.
Yeah, that would be less than pleasant. Come on. And he starts guiding you into the town.
Yes, that would be less than ideal.
So we've got also Taryn, Ginger, and Rose. What are you guys up to?
I think
Got a
it's
couple of trips
time.
people are going on.
I think it's time that we uh had a taste of this too satisfying food.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%. So I'm imagining that, like, you've got, like, little carts that are outside of some larger shops. So there's inside seating, naturally. But there's also little carts doing, like, free samples, almost like if you're walking around in the food cart at a mall and people can just give you little pieces of food on a stick. Like, here's a
Ooh, you.
sample of what we've got. Take a taste and then come inside and get more food.
So I
Oh, so it's
imagine
like
there's
Costco.
It's like Costco.
Costco. So I imagine it's a lot of that, but also near the top of the waterfall and intermittently in the middle of it, like going up like steps, are like floating restaurants that have like built themselves into like to be able to use the water that is going up to keep themselves afloat.
Giving more credence to this magical floating water that
Mm-hmm.
gives their water balloons lift.
Oh yeah, 100% it'd be used as a tourist attraction.
It's
Or,
such
you
a
know,
shame they
the
get
like
so
two
few
tourists.
tourists.
I know. Maybe they just did it because
I
it's
like that
cool.
idea. It also makes good use of space. This is as close as you can get to a skyscraper in this town.
Oh yeah. I imagine there's some places where they have like glass floors for you to like see the magic happening.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also almost like in Sea of Thieves, where like if you need to get up somewhere high, there's a combination of like dirt and stone paths, but also like little wooden staircases that lead further up. So it's just this ramshackle of different ways to get to each building. It's almost like a little bit of a maze in and of itself to just navigate,
Mm-hmm.
giving more of that big city vibe than this place probably would warrant normally.
Yeah.
It's not busy, but there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's probably one of the like main hubs.
And there's like all the food that people are making is like Studio Ghibli levels of too good to look at, too good to eat.
Yeah. One of those where it's like, oh man, I don't, this is, it's presentation though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I hope we don't get turned into pigs from eating.
It's okay. Daddy's got credit cards and cash.
I do love that movie though. Spirited Away was fantastic.
It's a
Oh, it
wonderful
was
movie.
fantastic. Oh yeah.
I need to
I
watch
feel like
that
we
again.
do this every time we bring up a movie.
They're just good.
They're just good movies, yeah.
So, what cultural side of food do we think that this place specializes in?
Seeing as how this is a port town, I would definitely say that they're serving up the fish.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say honestly
Seafood.
that like that almost Japanese or Chinese like style of food where it's not a lot of meat. It is mostly fish, and it's like given a lot of earthy, grassy, or vegetable sides.
I think that Japanese cuisine would make a lot of sense actually because they are like an island nation.
And they've got otters and bears.
Yeah.
Are they sun bears then?
Jeez.
Are they sun bears?
There's at least 5 or 6 sun bears.
I love that. Praise the sun.
How about Sunrise Land?
They look so
So
goofy. I love
Volodinsky's
them.
homeland.
So we grab some food. What is everyone grabbing?
Taryn immediately is sniffing out what smells like trout or salmon. Like,
Following his nose.
sniff, 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 sniff.
I believe in the bear's nose. I also follow the chef. I feel like he'd be good for knowing what's good.
I like to imagine that you have this slight moment of distraction. And Rose goes sniffing off in another direction where she smells something good. Only Ginger would notice.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay. So I see her going off in a different direction.
And both of the bear and the bunny's noses are doing the twitch as they follow different scents.
So Ginger's immediate first like surface thoughts are food. Which one do I trust more to find better food? I trust Taryn because he actually cooks, but also me and Rose like the same foods. And as she's thinking this, she loses sight of both.
Rip.
Oh no.
Oh no. And then she realizes she's an adult and should be responsible.
And goes to try to find people.
And tries to she goes to try to find Rose.
Beautiful.
Taryn's nose leads him to a stand that's doing both sushi and ramen.
Ooh.
And like
Ginger's gonna try to use her nose to find Rose.
but you have no idea what you're doing.
No, but we both like the same food, so I assume that if I like something, she'll be there.
You're both vegetarians or something. I don't know.
Vegetarians.
We both like sweets.
It's like
So-
Taryn just like immediately just like sits down.
Literally, like, Spirited Away just sits down, starts grabbing food.
Isn't really thinking about it for a second.
I feel like it would literally be like, oh, Rose, you've got to try this. Looks over, doesn't see either Rose or Ginger.
Shit.
Audibly.
In what this place's equivalent is to a big city. But we'll take a moment here. Because I wanted to check and see what Atlas was up to, but looks like he just stepped away for a moment. How long did we want to go? Because it is currently about 10:30. Our time is getting a little late. And we did start a little later. So normally we'd be stopping at about this time, but I wanted to hear like, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys feeling?
I'm good to go for a little bit longer. We
Yeah.
can probably like have our moment with Atlas doing something, and then maybe we call it there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that'd be fair. That would give all of us our time quote.
Yeah,
We
and
can
then
carry
that
on with this for now until he gets back.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, we can mark that as kind of like say midday for this day for everybody.
Yeah, the lunch rush, if you will.
Yeah.
Rose, following her nose, she ends up at a place that is it's like a like one of those like open faced buildings where they're doing like they're like roasting vegetables on like the like big like table stove, you know, that you would see at like those like
Yeah, Teflon
restaurants.
grill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I also like to imagine that there's like a poke bowl place right next to it.
Perfect. And like so like she's drawn in by the scent of grilled vegetables, but then is immediately captivated by the onion volcano.
I want to go to Khan's eyes.
So Ginger, do they find anyone? Do they find their own food? Does a random stall person offer them a snack and they get distracted?
Probably because she thinks in her mind she was like, okay, Rose will definitely look for something sweet, so she's smelling out for something sweet. And I imagine what she finds is like a stand doing like
Like dongos, like ice cream,
ooh,
sweet
Mochi.
dongos, mochi.
mochi. Yes. So she definitely finds one of those like dongo stands, which they're like a I don't know how to describe it. They're like a pastry almost. Well, no, not really. It has a texture of
You talk about like
the ones that are like the little balls that are all different colors on the stick.
yeah,
No,
it's
that's
like it's rice dough basically. It's kind of
yeah. Mhm. So yeah, I found that. And I'm looking around for some rabbit ears, which I assume there's not a lot of rabbits around here.
you've only seen one rabbit for the past few months.
Gotcha. So
I
have
don't think we've had another rabbit show up in the game
Besides Atlas.
besides that one.
So Ginger's thought process. We literally can't escape. There's no way she can get that far.
We're
So
fine. This is a cage.
Yeah, basically. We're all stuck here. So she gets her dongo and then she keeps looking around for Rose. She's kind of calling out, looking around for her, but also getting distracted by more food. So
Okay.
probably by the time she catches up with everyone, she's just going to have armfuls of snacks.
Okay. So taking a moment, Atlas, are you there?
What's up?
So we were thinking of ending shortly here, but we were going over like what everyone is doing as we're ending the day basically at lunchtime. Everyone is currently in the northern town. Just filling you in, they got to the northern town. Everybody is currently at the northern town. Zurich and Larkin are together and just entering the town, whereas Taryn, Ginger, and Rose all entered the town and are looking for food stuff. And promptly everybody got separated.
Well, Francisco went south.
And Francisco went south to find books.
The library.
But I wanted to see what between, the last time we've heard from Atlas and probably a little after noon, closer to that 1 to 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish time, like after midday, what Atlas has been up to.
Probably what he's been doing all day, just a lot of relaxing. He really, like I said, he really doesn't want to go outside in the weather.
Okay. Does he do anything with Tippy or
Or
Doodle?
I imagine Doodle's up by now.
I really don't know. To be real with you, I have no idea.
You get to say so. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
that's the game.
Yeah, well, no, I understand, but what I'm saying is I don't know. Me as a person don't know.
That's fair. We'll get back into the flow of things. We've missed a lot of sessions back to back.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and pick up from there next time, I imagine, trying to answer the questions of what is the prophecy? Will the friends ever rejoin themselves? What magical substance cures hangovers? And other like
Yeah, dude.
I hope it wasn't Coke.
A cola.
I'm going to swap us over to the all of our icons screen here. And I guess we can just do our outros. But I'm going to add a little twist as I like to.
A little twist of lemon.
What a twist.
Lemon twist.
So, Taryn,
Hole.
where can people find you on the internet? And what is Taryn and or Rose's most suspicious or least favorite thing about this area so far?
So Taryn is kind of conflicted because on the one hand, you know, yes, bears. He feels kind of at home and surrounded by people who look like him. On the other hand, and also he's like he has this strange feeling about like how this place seems to like stay the same according to other people. Like nothing ever really changes here.
Oh god, I just thought about the fact that it's going to be hard for Rose to find him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway.
Ginger and Rose, I'm looking for a bear, they said to the bear in a town of bears. But continue.
So yeah, he on the one hand like feels like this could be a safe place, but on the other hand, because the fact that it doesn't change is due to like some kind of mystic mumbo jumbo, he is also wary of it. Rose, on the other hand, while like being like, oh wow, this place is super cool and magical, she also kind of has like this like lingering feeling in the back of her mind. It's like
Something's not right.
Yeah, something's not right, and I don't know if I want to stay here.
It's a little too good.
Exactly. And now also she's separated from everyone, so there's that too.
Poor Rose.
As for where you can find me, Ross, the person, the streamer, the
other bear.
Other bear. You can find me here on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I have a Twitter. I have a Blue Sky by the same username, Ross_the_bear. And yeah, I mean, you can come hang out. I usually do a variety of different things. Lately, it's been retro games, but sometimes I'll like play stuff with friends, like Overwatch with Atlas or Monster Hunter.
What do you think your next game's gonna be?
That's not fair.
Pokemon Fusion, he says.
I'll work on it.
Moving on over, we're just gonna go counterclockwise here. Husky. Where can you be found on the internet? And what is Zurich's least favorite or most suspicious thing about El Dorado so far?
Definitely not taking drugs in a back alley.
No, that's probably
like, "Oh,
Zerg's
there's
favorite
nothing
thing
wrong
so
with here.
far. Just ended up meeting some
Place is
forest
great."
hobo like himself, taking some magical forest potion, and ended up drunk out by the lake there, not knowing how he ended up there, not questioning it whatsoever, just trying to remember the good time that he had with his fellow forest hobo.
He's feeling
But
a little at home, perhaps? Question mark.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but no, his least favorite thing so far. Hmm. Oh, geez, that's. I don't know. I don't think Zurich has really paid too much attention to anything else to be able not to take any dislike with anything. Everything he's done so far, he's really enjoyed.
I would imagine being a cat, he's probably not a big fan of being constantly slightly wet.
but he also is the only one with a raincoat.
That is true.
Yeah, and being in exile, he's used to being out in the weather almost 24/7. So there's also that. That's why I was kind of like, I really
Yep.
don't know. It just words.
Hey, it's fine if he doesn't find anything odd about it. We'll just find
No.
something odd about that.
That makes sense.
Circling around, Atlas, where can you be found on the internet? And what, other than the weather, is Atlas's least favorite or most suspicious thing about this place?
You can find me at twitch.tv/AtlasRiven and on TikTok at the same name, and almost anywhere else on the internet by the same name.
Yes, we Canada.
Uh,
And you'll no longer be able to find Husky after this stream. It'll be
Bye. See you later.
Hope you find your dad.
and what it's the my what is it?
So,
Rephrase?
what is Atlas's least favorite or most suspicious thing about El Dorado so far, other than the obvious weather, which is pretty obvious he's not a fan of the weather, unless you want to elaborate on one.
The problem is that almost everything has to do with the weather for him, specifically because he's a man about his appearance, and he cannot do anything in this weather without it ruining his appearance, and that stresses him out. So he is dealing with a mixture of both feeling very trapped, but also unable to do anything about it.
Interesting. More to explore later. So, Squiz, moving on. We've got
Hi.
where can you be found on the internet? And
I'm
what
right
are
here.
Ginger and or Francisco's least favorite or most suspicious thing about El Dorado?
So, hello, I'm Squiz. I stream on Twitch sometimes, and sometimes I do TikToks. I would think. So, definitely the fact that nothing changes. Like, Ginger doesn't really like that because
It
she
feels
gets
a little
bored.
unnatural.
It does, yeah. Well, plus, like, her job is traveling to different places, talking to different people. The thought of, like, being stuck in one spot, talking to the same people, and never being able to move again is a little worrying. She is also constantly, just a little bit, on the lookout for Amber, hoping that she'll run into her again. But it's kind of moving a little bit further in the back of her mind, but it's never quite gone.
I imagine that this
Francisco.
place not having a moth tending tower also feels off.
Oh yeah, but I mean the last place didn't have a moth tending tower, so she's hoping that this is progress towards, being able to leave. It's not that she doesn't like it there, but not being able to leave is upsetting. Francisco's pretty okay. He's a little bit worried about Ginger's general state of mind because he also knows that as long as he doesn't bring it up, she might not have thought about it yet that she's stuck here and panicked. So he's just kind of trying to keep things on the down low and casual and be like, yeah, paperwork, it's fine. This book is and then he's just gonna enjoy the books while he's here. But yeah, he's also a little suspicious of the not change, but he's not the kind of person to get too worried about it.
Yeah.
Things will work out.
And then last up and least, we have little_Foxy. That's where I can be found on Twitch.
Absolutely not least.
As far as Larkin's concerned, he hasn't interacted with the people too much. The otters seem nice, and other than running into Zurich, he's only like seen people from afar, and they all seem normal. So he doesn't have a lot of experience to draw from for something to feel odd. He does find it strange that this place is kind of like a big fishbowl. So it makes you wonder if this is just where people go to when they pass through the graveyard maze, basically, and there really is nothing beyond here, or if there is some other exit. But he's not had the chance to talk to anyone or get any other information. He's just been enjoying being near, the nice clear water, the pleasantly drizzly days, generally speaking. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right in a lot of ways. And then in other ways, it's a little better than good. So he's kind of just living in the moment and liking it from there. He doesn't have a lot to be suspicious of right now.
Yes,
But
yes.
I love how the one who had the sketchiest experience was the one that was like, I love this.
Yeah, anything new and out of the ordinary for Zurich is going to be something that sticks with him, and he's going to absolutely love it. Even if somebody else in his shoes probably would have been rather concerned meeting a fellow forest hobo that's offering him mysterious tea that happened to be some sort of hypnotic drug of some kind.
Definitely a hallucinogen. But they did kind of tell you about that beforehand.
I think the chugging, it was definitely on Zurich.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
Zurich.
no, continue.
Yeah, Zurich tends to enjoy his hot drinks a little too much, and likes to gulp them down rather than sip them.
I'm sure this has been very well received by Francisco.
Who will only serve him not lukewarm tea, but like definitely cooled off tea. Like he does not give you fresh hot tea anymore.
There was one near miss burn incident, and he's like, "Well, can't trust you."
You get your tea.
To chug boiling liquid.
You're worse off than Ginger.
But I think that's a great spot to sort of end it off, and we'll see what becomes of El Dorado later. This place is a lot more magical, it seems, than any other place we've visited so far.
Which makes sense, honestly.
Or
There's
what
a
if
lot of mystery to be found.
Or what if it turns out that the flowers are have been slowly diluting the water there, making everyone hallucinate this entire time?
Ooh.
Ooh.
You'll have to find out next week on Awooters
Next
Does
I love
WanderHome.
that makes
Awooters
the
does
like
D&D.
crazy homeless bear in the woods is just like, I've got the conspiracy. I know what's happening and no one believes me.
I've cracked the code.
I'm Conspiracy
know.
Bear. Nobody believes me.
You don't know it, but you're living in a dreamlike simulation. I've got the keys to the door of knowledge. I'll
This
open up
is
your
why I'll
door
never
and
pay taxes.
Don't take the blue pill.
Drink the blue
yellow
tea.
flower. But thank you guys for playing, and thank everyone for watching. Look for us next week. Looking forward to seeing all of you again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wait. Yeah, we're good.
Hey.